Hey guys, you made it. Welcome aboard. Today I just wanted to come and say hello, and talk a little bit about discernment and sensing truth and authenticity. It's also a follow-up to the last video that I did about Grandma was an alien and story time and the reason and the lessons and the insight that I've gained from that particular lifetime. And it is about sensing, it is about tactical knowing in our bodies and in ourselves. We're coming up on such a beautiful time out in the world. What the heckaroonie is happening out there? There's so much going on and so much information coming at us in so many ways. And I just want to offer tools and insights and how I see this our future unfolding, and how I try to kind of gauge uh, information, if you will. First of all, when I make these videos, I'm really thinking of my family, and in doing so, it kind of like makes me unwind and relax a little bit and feel a little more comfortable. Also, the way that I speak to my kids may not be as formal as it would if I were creating this video for a larger audience. So in my mind, I'm just going to stick to what I know and speak directly to my family. And perhaps they'll see this, maybe not, but there's big things ahead, Starshines. We've got some beautiful things unfolding, and also maybe some truths that are surfacing that seem scary. Who do you listen to? Who do you pay attention to? Everything is just seems a little bit like a big old hot mess right now. And so, my suggestion and my insight and my observation, if you will, is that don't pay attention to anything until you have mastered your own energy body, until you have mastered your ability to sit in silence and go within. Because there's nothing that's going on in the outside world that you don't have answers for, that you inside, in your gut, in your connection, in your spirit body, you have the connection to divine source. You have access to all data, all information, past and present. There is no religion. There is no news source. There is nothing. There is no podcaster. There is no experiencer that is going to give you as much information and as much data that you have within yourself. There has been a huge planned enforcement of ideologies, culture, religions that has separated our bodies from our spirits. We've forgotten who it is we are. And if you were to explain or express or connect to these aspects of yourself, these multidimensional, these interdimensional, these ultra-dimensional parts of ourselves in the past, you were just kind of looked at as like cuckoo pants. And that is totally not happening anymore. There are a lot of people coming from a lot of different angles about what exists in the unseen realms. So, when it comes to how to decipher truth and authenticity, again, I can't express enough how important it is for you to have a relationship with yourself, with your inner knowing, with your inner gauge. It will never, ever, ever be wrong when it comes to your truth. And so I just invite you just to kind of sit down for a second and be in silence. Just take time to detach from everything, detach from all news, detach from any condemning ideologies or theologies, or just let go of all of it and sit with yourself. Just get to know yourself, because you will take yourself on a path of just understanding and unfolding. The reason why I made that video about grandma was an alien is because what I learned in that experience was to how my body responds to truth. It is all felt in every part of my body. Your senses are go far beyond sight, smell, touch, taste, hearing. You have so many more senses. And as time unfolds and the future comes rolling towards you, you will learn more about your senses. And when you sit in silence, this is when you'll begin to kind of gauge and feel and understand that you have more ways of interpreting your reality than maybe what has been taught to you today. And so explore your senses. My senses were on fire. Like I can like taste sounds. I can hear light. This is real for me. And sometimes at first, when I didn't understand the information I was receiving and the data was coming at me hot, I really thought there was something wrong with me. Or I thought that if I tried to tell someone, they'd be like, oh, okay, okay, Brandy. Oh, okay. And that made me feel a certain way. And so I learned that how other people perceive my interpretation of the world isn't necessarily irrelevant, but I no longer allowed it to block me from exploring my senses, from just yeah, just that. Like, don't be afraid to explore your senses, and don't be afraid to trust your own senses and trust your own path, your own way. Again, there is no podcaster out there that is going to tell you what is or is not true, that you don't have access to in and of yourself. I love listening to everything. I love listening to almost all podcasters, almost all like scientists. I'm just fascinated by it, actually. I love it, but I always check in with myself, and there is no podcaster I have found that to be in my knowing and how I see that they're 100% right, or their guests are 100% right. And that's where the saying, like, takes what resonates, leave what does not. This is very important. And again, this is grandma just coming on and just having a little chat about how to perceive truth and authenticity. Mm, I do want to say that someone was just talking about a critical thinking class, but I think it was one of my guests that I had, and he was talking about how they don't offer this class, critical thinking, anymore, which I didn't know. But I do want to suggest and mention to you that one thing I remember learning in that class in college, like years ago, is to be able to determine when someone is giving you an opinion versus concrete data, information, or facts. And once you start listening to people, and once you understand and are able to decipher between facts and opinion, it's very easy to see what is true and what is not, or receive information. So most newscasters right now, all they are opinions. Someone give an opinion about this or that, opinion, 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 opinion. Um, and also, another way of determining whether someone speaking to you or not is giving valid information. Information is our, I noticed that a lot of people, and I'm not trying to belittle or put anybody's communication styles down, but a red flag for me is when someone is belittling another being or another person's experience in order to validate themselves. That is a very big red flag. Pay very, very close attention, because as soon as someone starts communicating in that way, I personally instantly see it looks transparent to me, and it looks like a big old agenda, like they're trying to make a point of it. Just, it gets a little weird when people are belittling another in order to lift themselves up. I just see ego coming in hot. And to me, that's a red flag. To me, once someone starts doing that, I'm going to be very picky about what and how I'm listening and receiving data and information from this person or being or whatever it is. Um, and another way of determining truth and authenticity, again, is feel your body, feel how your body is responding to the information that's coming in. That, again, is what I learned the most in my experience on that water planet when I was in there. My senses were on fire, and you just know truth, you just feel truth. Um, it's a feeling. I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it on my skin. I can just sense it. And I'm not always right. What is or is not true. I'm not always, in fact, like every day I'm looking at things like, ooh, seeing that a little differently today than I did yesterday. Or I'm growing and expanding and seeing it from a different angle, a different light. And so, especially when we're talking about spiritual matters or the unseen realms or multidimensionality, this is a growing, I personally am growing. I personally am exploring this information, and the information and the data that I'm exploring when it comes to these unseen realms goes far beyond any religion. This predates any book that was ever written on the earth. There's so much going on out there, and I can't wait to be able to talk to my kids about what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, their memories once they begin come flooding in. Our culture, I'm so sorry, babies, but our entire culture has been set up so that you forget who you are. And I am here to help you remember. I'm here to hold your hand through the process. I super love you so much. Like, you're just everything to me. Every single one of you. You are everything to me. Everything. And I just love you. Like, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you wake up. And I'm here to help guide you or show you all the mistakes, show you all my mistakes so that you can learn from them. I am a humble, 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 ancient, ancient, ancient student. And it is an honor to be here with you on this planet during this time. And it may seem scary. It may seem wild and crazy pants, and it is, because there's been some real shit cards doing some real shit hard things here on this planet. And I'm sorry about that. And I'm going to do my best in my way in order to offset that so that your life has peace and so that your life has truth. Mm, I'll talk about that with you in person later another time about what grandma's doing. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video about um, discernment and knowing what is true and what is not. Like, pay attention to all the things, like, listen to everything. I really highly recommend it, listening even to those who you don't agree with, because you will learn and you're expanding, babes. Like, get ready, my little star shines, because there's just so much coming in and it's coming in hot. I think I'm repeating myself now, but um, my goal is you. And my goal is just creating a world of beauty and wonderment and light. And when you feel like things feel dark or confusing or scary, I'm here for you. And I love you so, so, so much. There's good things ahead. Take good care. I love you.